A few years ago, Justin Bieber shared his faith. Look at what he said. Now, if you don't know who he is, super famous singer. I mean, when he was at his height, everybody in the world seemingly knew who he was, even if they liked his music or didn't. But he opened up, I think about 2020, and talked about his faith here. And notice some of the stuff he says is really, really good. Other stuff, I kind of have a problem with it. And again, there's questions about all this stuff, but let's look at this and break it down.
I just didn't know what the heck was going on. And so I really took a deep dive in my faith, to be honest. I just went deep into, I believed in Jesus, but I never really, when it says following Jesus is actually turning away from sin. And so there's no, what it talks about in the Bible, it's like there's no obedience. There's no faith without obedience. So it's like I had faith about I believe Jesus died on the cross for me, but I never really implemented it into my life. I never was I'm gonna be obedient.
So when did you?
Okay, so notice that first clip of what he says here. This is just a compilation of clips that he believed in Jesus, but he never implemented the gospel. He never implemented the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus into his life. And man, if that isn't the case too with a lot of people, and especially in the celebrity world, but also just in the non-celebrity world, who say, yeah, I believe in Jesus, believe the gospel, all that stuff, but it has not changed their lives at all. The gospel is meant to change your life. And he's saying, I recognize that was a problem.
You decide to actually move within the guidelines, and how did you find yourself away from, yeah, I believe in Jesus, but I'm going to drink or do drugs or sleep around or all these other distractions? How did you get out of that world? What was the turning point for you?
I think it was my perception of who Jesus really was, I'd had really bad examples of Christians in my life who would say one thing and do another. So they're my direct example of who Jesus was.
That's why you didn't take it seriously.
I didn't take it as seriously because I didn't have good examples.
Good role models.
Yeah, the way I look at my relationship.
Notice that he kind of blames it on some bad role models. And when I say blame, I'm not really faulting him for that. That's the case with a lot of people. Maybe they had abusive parents who also went to church every Sunday. So when they grow up, they don't want to go to church at all. They don't even have any religion. That happens a lot of the time, man. Christians, examples, and Christians aren't perfect, but man, we have such a weighty responsibility to be an example to people who are much more impressionable.
Relationship with God and with Jesus is I'm not trying to earn God's love by doing good things. God has already loved me for who I am before I did anything to earn and deserve it. It's a free gift by accepting Jesus and just giving your life to him. And what he did is the gift. The forgiveness is the thing that we look at and, I'm going to worship you, God, because you gave me something so good.
So notice that. I love that right there. I really love that. I'm not going to try to earn God's love with obedience or try to become perfect so that I can earn God's love. You can't do it. There is no amount of goodness that I can provide that will cause God to love me. And I love that he recognizes that. Now, sometimes people don't believe that because they go, well, look how bad Justin Bieber is. I mean, if he really wants a relationship with God in some way, he's got to be really, really holy. And again, the reality is you can't ever be holy enough to really deserve a relationship with God. Now, God calls you to holiness. God calls you to obedience, but let's not pretend like we can just earn that. No, it is something that God offers to us. Justification is not something that I earn or I deserve, but it's something that God does and to me in my life when I decide to live for him and I give him everything that I can possibly give him, as imperfect and faulty and frail and weak as that effort is. I love that he recognizes that. Some people use that as a license to sin, but it's not. It should actually be the highest motivation to loving and serving God.
Do you think that if you hadn't redefined what Jesus was and reclaimed it into something that was worthy of practice for you, which then led you on a path of reconciliation with your wife, do you think the person that the you of then was on a path of self-destruction? Do you feel that you were self-destructing?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I would have, for sure, 100%. Yeah. I don't know if I'd be alive, for sure. It was dark, really dark. So I'm very, very grateful to have influences in my life that have played a huge part in me seeing their relationship with Jesus and their relationship with their wives and their relationship with their kids and saying, that's what I want, and striving after that. So Jesus wasn't this religion.
Well, hold on. Did you catch that? Justin Bieber world famous, has all the money. I don't know how much money he has. He has all the money. Crazy net worth. Look up what his net worth is. All of the money that anyone could ever have, essentially. And he says he was looking at other people's lives and saying, that's what I want. He was looking at what? He wasn't looking at richer people. Justin Bieber doesn't look at richer people. He is the richest dude, basically. There's obviously some richer people, but he doesn't look at people and go, man, I want that much money. What is he jealous of? He says their relationship with their wives, like the family situation, that's what I want. There's this amazing recognition that more money is not necessarily going to make you happy. It might make things more stress-free in some areas, but happiness? No. What does Justin Bieber want? What does the guy who has everything want? He wants a good, loving marriage with his wife. He wants a loving, peaceful family. That's what everybody wants, and money cannot get you that true love. Money can't get you that true peace and harmony in a family, the blessing of that. Money truly cannot get you that. Imagine that for a second. Justin Bieber looks at your life and your marriage and your family, and he goes, that's what I want. That's what he wants more than money, hopefully.
Just elite guy that, came to, but he was in the dirt, and he found me in my dirt and pulled me out. Like I said before, I'm a Jesus follower, and I just want to be led by, when you accept Jesus, he says that now you walk with the Holy Spirit. So I think I just want to be led by the Holy Spirit. We're not really good at the end of the day. At the core, I don't believe humans are good and people might, twist this and make me seem like I'm saying humanity's not good. I don't know.
Tell you the truth.
I just feel like at the core, I fight every day temptation and things that, are instinctive to do, whether it's, whatever it is, lie, be greedy, all these things that just naturally come. Those naturally come. I got to fight to not be that. So maybe humanity's, it's come to a place of being really, it's broken. I mean, it's just look around. I mean, the pain in this world, it's just so, it's obvious. And people are looking for hope, and they're looking for a way out, and they're looking for an escape, and they're looking for truth, and they're looking for, and I'm just, I've gotten the opportunity with my journey to just see a God who accepts me, loves me.
He says, I don't want people to get mad at me when I say that humans aren't good. I don't want them to think that I'm saying that humanity isn't good, but I don't think that humanity is good. And he has this conundrum. Are we good? Are we not good? Let me help out a little bit from a biblical perspective. It just depends on what you mean. Were we made good? Ecclesiastes 7:29 says that we were made good. Genesis 1:31, good. When you were born, you're a baby, good. But have we chosen sin? And that's what Ecclesiastes 7:29 says. Yes, God made man upright, but he sought out many schemes. That we reach a point where that loving relationship with God or holiness or sinlessness is not something that we want anymore. We have fallen from Adam and from Eve like they did. We have done the same thing too. We have chosen that ourselves in our own lives. So in what sense do you mean good? Are we made good? Yes. But am I good? No. I would absolutely agree with that. I am not good. I need God, who is good, to treat me like I am good through justification and counting me faithful, even though I, objectively speaking, am not faithful like God is faithful. So it is okay to say that humanity is not good. In fact, if we were to say that we are all good, then why do we need Jesus? In fact, because we have fallen from goodness, that is why we need God. That is why we need Jesus. That's why we need his grace. That's why we need the relationship with him. So it's okay to say that. It shouldn't be controversial at all. Show me anyone that you would say, no, this is a truly good person, and you either don't know them well enough or you don't count the things that they're doing, many of the things that they're doing, as wrong, evil, or sinful. That's just the fact of the man. But let me know what you think. What do you think about Justin Bieber's statements here? How biblically accurate is he? Is he right? Is he wrong? I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, consider supporting on Patreon. God bless you. I will see you soon. Goodbye.